It's been 2 years since NASA's Perseverance rover made its historic arrival on the surface of Mars. On February 18, 2021, Perseverance and its tiny ride-along partner, the Ingenuity helicopter, were lowered to the floor of Mars Jezero Crater. In the 2 years since, these two have achieved remarkable feats and made incredible progress. So let's discuss Perseverance's main goals, its most interesting findings so far, and what's in store for the future of the mission. Over the past 2 decades, missions flown by NASA's Mars exploration program have shown us that Mars was once very different from the cold, dry planet it is today. Evidence discovered by landed and orbital missions points to wet conditions billions of years ago. These environments lasted long enough to potentially support the development of microbial life. That's where the Mars Perseverance rover, amicably called Percy, comes in. Percy is designed to better understand the geology of Mars and seek signs of ancient life. Perseverance's body and other major hardware build upon the success of NASA's Curiosity rover and include many heritage components. The rover has up to 7 scientific instruments on board, like various spectrometers, a supercam, an in-situ oxygen generator, and environmental analyzers. The car-sized rover is about 3 meters long, 2.7 meters wide, and 2.2 meters tall, and weighs about 1,000 kilograms. In addition to its own mission, Perseverance is also relying on the help of Ingenuity, the 1.8 kilogram helicopter that is showing that aerial exploration is possible on Mars. Ingenuity has already proven its worth by acing its 5-flight original mission, and is now on an extended mission to serve as a scout for Perseverance. So what did Percy find during its 2-year stay on Mars? Percy's landing site was Jezero Crater, one of the best places on the red planet to search for potential signs of ancient life. At Jezero's western curve, an ancient riverbed gives way to a fan-shaped delta. That delta is a flashing signpost visible from orbit, that tells us there was once a standing body of water. Perseverance landed on the crater floor, about 2 kilometers from the front of the delta. Scientists immediately got a surprise when Percy began to examine the first rocks on the floor of Jezero Crater in the spring of 2021. Scientists had expected to find sedimentary rock, which would have formed when sand and mud settled in a once watery environment. Instead, Perseverance initially found 2 types of igneous rock, one that formed deep underground from magma, the other from volcanic activity at the surface. Because of how it forms, igneous rock isn't ideal for preserving the potential signs of ancient microscopic life Perseverance was searching for. However, volcanic rocks are still useful as they provide clues to what kind of major geologic events may have happened on Mars, and at what time. Initial research of these rocks suggests that they were formed during 2 separate events after the crater was created. But before water flowed from nearby highlands into the crater to form a lake. Research clearly points to the presence of water, as it altered the structure of the igneous rocks in the same way as seen on Earth. It wasn't until April 2022, when Perseverance arrived at the delta of Jezero's crater. It was here that scientists found what they had been looking for: sedimentary rocks. These sedimentary rocks contained complex organic molecules called aromatics, as well as clays and sulfate minerals, which can be produced when water interacts with rocks. While none of these materials are definitely signs of life, known as biosignatures, they do mean we are looking in the right place. The sulfate minerals are particularly exciting, as they have a high potential for biosignature preservation. If there were biosignatures in the vicinity when that rock formed, this type of material would preserve that for scientists to study. Scientists are still in the early stages of their research. Also, more complex research would have to be performed on Earth to hunt for definitive signs of life. That's exactly why NASA and ESA will perform an amazing joint mission to retrieve the samples collected by Percy. The plan is to launch an Earth return orbiter in 2027 and a sample retrieval lander the following year. The SRL will touch down inside the 45 km wide Jezero Crater, where Perseverance will drive its sample haul over to the SRL. The SRL's onboard rocket will then launch the Mars material to orbit, where it will be grabbed and hauled to Earth by the Aero. But just in case, Perseverance recently dropped several sample tubes in a section of Jezero. If needed, two Ingenuity-like helicopters that will launch aboard the SRL will collect the depot tubes one by one, bringing them back to the lander for launch. Once the samples reach Earth, scientists from around the world will have the chance to analyze them in well-equipped labs, looking for definitive signs of microbial life on Mars. If scientists would find such signs, it would mean that the Jezero Crater was once a habitable environment with a big lake and a river delta billions of years ago. Meanwhile, Perseverance is taking its exploration to the top of the ancient delta, where even richer, muddy sedimentary rocks may still be found. We're excited to see what Percy will teach us about the Martian environment in the years to come. Happy 2-year anniversary, Percy.